Hello, welcome to Diasporic Living. I'm Nadej and you're welcome to my channel. I'm going to be sharing with you 10 facts or tips if you plan to travel to Cameroon in 2020, maybe at the end of 2020, 2021, 2025, whatever it is. These tips are really important if it is your first time going to Cameroon, if you grew up outside of Cameroon, you have Cameroonian parents and you haven't gone to Cameroon ever, maybe you're going by yourself, maybe you're not even Cameroonian and you just want to visit. I really want to encourage Cameroonians in the diaspora to actually go back home. Okay, Cameroonians tend to not want to go back home even when they can go back home and they can travel back home, but let's make Cameroonian travel a thing. I also really believe that with the changes that we plan to see in the nation of Cameroon, it's going to take a lot of influence and participation of those in the diaspora to actually make those changes come to fruition. So we can start by traveling back home, you know. Some of us have been out of Cameroon for so long that we've become out of touch. We don't really know what's going on. We don't even understand the way of life anymore. If you've lived outside of Cameroon for 10 years and you've never visited, trust me, you are most probably out of touch with what's going on, how things are. Let's start by actually traveling back. Cameroonian parents, take your kids to Cameroon. Let them see their country, their culture. But anyways, before I make this intro so long-winded, let's get into these 10 tips / facts, whatever is on the title. Alright? The first thing you need to do if you plan to go to Cameroon is to book a flight ticket, round trip preferably, unless you're moving there for good. Google Flights, Expedia, Air France, Brussels, Lufthansa, Air Morocco, Ethiopian Airlines. Choose one of them, book a flight. The second thing I have here is that you will need a visa. If you don't have a Cameroonian passport, you have to apply for a visa. And I can only talk from like the American perspective. I don't know what other people do in other countries, but you need a visa. So the first thing you have to do is go on the website. Okay, they have like a form. You gotta print out the form, fill out the visa application. If you're visiting, you probably will be applying for the 3-month tourist visa. Can you imagine? You have to apply for a visa. Even if you were born in Cameroon and you have Cameroonian parents, you can't even be a Cameroonian national. We need dual citizenship, all right? We need dual citizenship. The third thing you need to know if you're going to travel to Cameroon is that you need to have all your necessary vaccines in check. This is a yellow card. I'm gonna go through it and show you what I got. I got this a while back. I don't know if they're expired, but whatever. You need, hold up, wait a minute, it's a chopper. Okay, you need hepatitis A, polio, typhoid. I would say just go to your primary caregiver or nurse practitioner, whatever, and say you're traveling to this sub-Saharan African country, and I think they already know what vaccines they need to give you, but that's what I have. I don't know if it's expired yet. I traveled to Cameroon 2 years ago. Next time I'm going, I need to see if I need to renew my vaccines, but for now I don't. Number 4 is that in order to get your visa, you have to fill out a form. Okay, and the reason why you have to already have your ticket booked is because when you're filling out this visa form, they ask you to include a copy of your flight itinerary. You also have to show a copy of your vaccines, I think, I'm not sure, but I think you do. Maybe not. And then you also have to pay money. I believe it's $95. 2 years ago it was $95. I'm not sure if the price has increased, but you have to pay $95 for the 3-month tourist visa. Once you have the form filled out with all these different things that I mentioned, you have to pack it up and ship it to the embassy in Washington, D.C. One of the times that I was applying for a visa, I called them because I had a question on something. And they were so rude, their customer service. I'm telling you, they send these people to Washington, D.C. to work in the embassy, and they still have the same customer service skills and level that they have in Cameroon. Unacceptable. There's some important things I want to know about the form before I move on to number 5. The first thing is that on the form, you're asked to provide a certain number of contacts that you have in Cameroon, their address and their phone. So if you don't know anybody in Cameroon, that might be a problem. But again, I don't really know how much they check it, if they actually call and make sure that the information you put is actually valid. So you could put anything, technically. The fifth thing to know if you're going to Cameroon is to make sure that you have accommodation, okay? If you have a family house, that's great. You have family members that you can stay with, that is awesome. You can stay with them. But if you don't have any of those, I would say make sure that you have secured your accommodation. There's some good Airbnbs listings that I've seen in Douala and Yaoundé and some other places in Cameroon. So I'll try to include the links down below. Everything is not black and white when you go to Cameroon. So if you don't have it figured out, there might be some difficulties, especially if you don't have a lot of people back home. I've heard that some people actually like live in hotels when they go back home, but that's just not cost efficient. Maybe if you're in Cameroon for a week, but then who actually goes to Cameroon for a week? Not that many people. If you're only going to be there for a week, that's reasonable. But if your stay is like 3 weeks to a month and beyond, staying in a hotel is not efficient. There's no kitchen, all that great stuff. So I would say look at some like short stay type of, like, you know, those long stay type of places where like you're staying for more than like a week. You could rent it out for like a week or 3 weeks. Yeah. Number 6 thing you should know is that make sure you have your transportation sorted out. If you are going to be traveling from city to city, I would recommend having your transportation situation sorted out, because you could take the bus, like the guaranteed buses and stuff. They're cool and whatnot, but like, I don't know, I've taken one before, but I would prefer to like have a driver drive me. If it's something that your budget can afford, I would say get a driver, get a car service, and have it for your duration. It's a bit pricey, but I think it's worth it. It's a lot more convenient. Ubering is not a thing in Cameroon. You can take taxis to get around the city, but if you don't know your way around, taxis are not really helpful. You can't like Google map anything for the most part. Negotiate with the driver that I'm gonna pay you this much for the 1 month. Don't pay per day thing, okay? One time we went to Cameroon and my mom was paying per day. Unacceptable. Taking a taxi in Cameroon is like a whole nother thing. I have stories when I tried taking a taxi and I began lost. You don't even know what side to stand on. Even if somebody tells you that, say you are going to Bastos, you don't even know what side to stand on to get back home. So the whole taxi situation is like, it's a lot if you're not used to it. Number 7 is to make sure that you have currency, cash, moolah, before you get to Cameroon. If your bank has a service where they can give you the currency of whatever place you're traveling to, do that. But if not, I would say make sure you go to the bank or the ATM and withdraw the amount of money that you actually need for the duration of your stay. Now, traveling with a whole lot of money is a bit complex and sort of dangerous at the same time. The most amount of money you can carry on you when traveling is $10,000. I wouldn't say carry $10,000 because that's a bit ridiculous, but let's say like $2,000, $1,000. I would say have that in cash. When you get to Cameroon, you can go exchange it for CFA, CFA. That's the currency in Cameroon. Franc. Can you imagine? The French people still have us in their own currency. What a shock. I don't know the official way of changing currency. Maybe you go to a bank in Cameroon, but the way that we've done it, family members like just say, oh, this person over there trades money real good. Okay, like in Douala, we got to the spot, this guy like pulls up to our window and then we give him the money and he gives it back to us. And then in Yaoundé, we went to some like mini office person that just does exchanges in downtown Yaoundé. So I'm sure your family member will probably know where to go to exchange dollars to CFA. If you are not from Cameroon, you don't have family members there, do it before you go. And I think maybe if you go to the bank in Cameroon, they should be able to do that for you, but I don't have any experiences with that, so have cash. You can go with your ATM card to Cameroon, but there are very limited places that have the whole debit card system, so you might find it a little difficult. Unless you're doing your groceries in the supermarchés and stuff, you probably need cash. If you're going to like buy something on the street, go to the marketplace and whatnot, so your debit card is not of much value. I know there are ATMs around the country and stuff, but I personally haven't seen it. I haven't seen anybody use it all the times I've been to Cameroon, so yeah. Have your cash. And I would also say that have somebody back home, whatever country you're traveling from, to be able to send you like Western Union if you run out of cash. Because that happens to some people. They run out of cash and didn't have a backup plan, you know? Because people will be asking you for stuff. Everybody wants you to pay for them. Everybody acts like they don't have money when they see you come back home. So I would say that have a backup plan. You know, leave money with your sibling, your parents, your spouse, or whatever, to send you money in case you run out of some. Don't run out of money in Cameroon. Don't overspend in Cameroon. Don't try to show off when you go to Cameroon either. You know, live the same life you live in the States or wherever you are from. Alright? Don't cover for everybody. Don't try to act like you a millionaire when you know you had to work overtime to go to Cameroon. You know, people stay trying to live up the big life that they don't actually have in America when they go back home, and that's a problem. Point number 8 is that you need a plug adapter. Your American plug situation is not going to work in Cameroon, so you need an adapter in order to be able to charge your phone, your iPad, laptop, whatever. I don't know the technicalities of it all and the voltage situations and all. You can find it on Amazon. I'll link some below if I find it. I think it's a type E. I don't know. So these are the ones that I use when I go to Cameroon. I got these on Amazon. These thingies. So you just do that and then you plug it to the wall. Tip number 9 is that plan out your trip as much as possible. Just try to plan out your trip at a high level so that you just don't go and then like 10 days is over and you're like, oh crap, I only have 5 more days and I haven't even done anything that I wanted to do. So have a plan where you want to go, places you want to see, who you want to visit, because people can just come in, they want you to come here, go here, do this, and you're like, no, I only got 15 days and I want to do what I actually want to do. Because you paid a lot of money to be there and you took time off from work. That's your PTO. So tip number 10 is be ready for your plans to be interrupted, disturbed, disrupted, whatever other word there is in the dictionary to say that. Just expect it, all right? Traffic is going to get on your nerves. The police is going to get on your nerves. I have a lot of stories about the police when I've been to Cameroon. If you want me to share those, leave a thumbs up and comment down below because they are quite just wow. You'll encounter a lot of things that you didn't expect you think would go smoothly according to your plan, but they don't. So plan, but expect disruption because it'll help you adapt and not be so annoyed, because there's a lot of things to like give you a lot of frustration and annoyance in Cameroon. And the last thing, which is number 11, I know it's supposed to be 10, but this is 11. Be ready to have fun, all right? As frustrating as certain things can be in Cameroon a lot of times, especially if you don't go back home often, and so you're not used to it, you grew up outside of Cameroon, things will get on your nerves. Trust me, y'all, things will get on your nerves. I've been going back to Cameroon since I was in college, and it's just, it gets on your nerves. But at the end of it all, it's very, very fun. I can't say that any of my trips to Cameroon have not been enjoyable. It's been very fun. It's been very enjoyable. You'll have fun. You'll meet people. You'll laugh a lot. You'll enjoy the food. There's just so many things to, make your trip worthwhile. Anyways, those are my tips and little facts that I think you should know if you are planning to go to Cameroon. I hope those were useful. I want to encourage all my young Cameroonians out there to visit Cameroon. If you left Cameroon at a really young age and you haven't gone back, please try to go back. If you were born out of Cameroon but you have Cameroonian parents and you haven't gone back, please go. All my 20-year-olds, let's go. I see so many Cameroonians just so far removed from the country. I know the country has its bad parts. As bad as it is, it's still our country. Like, your lineage is tied to Cameroon, all right? Like, your ancestors, your history is Cameroon. So if we're going to abandon it and not even go, I don't think it's right. That colonial mindset that keeps us entrapped. So I want to encourage young Cameroonians to travel to Cameroon when we can again. Let me know down below in the comment section, what are some facts or tips that you would give to somebody who's traveling to Cameroon for the first time? Important things that you learned as you started going back home and all that good stuff. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with other people. You have been watching Diasporic Living with Nadej, and I will see you on my next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.